As the old firm hit crisis point in Europe, it is time to talk about a lot of transfers as Idah could be on his way to Swansea, Dykes could be on his way to Hibs, Hamzi Gamani is on the verge of completing his move to Lille, Bojan Miovski is on the verge of moving to Rangers. There's so much to talk about, but let's begin with big Adam Idah. Alright, so 6-month loan, couldn't really have asked for a better loan. Since then, though, since Celtic paid £9.5 million for this guy, he's been pish, right? And nothing summed it up more than the start of this season, and especially that game the other night against Karat Almaty. And you know, it was written in the stars. Currently watching that Champions League draw, Club Brugge got Karat Almaty, which is kind of just hilarious. Also, Real Madrid have to travel all the way to Kazakhstan, so. Yeah, and Peter Law is also at the draw. I don't know if he didn't get the memo, but his team's no there. But I wonder why he's there. And I'm seeing a bit of a meltdown happen on Twitter due to that, which is kind of funny. But you may be wondering, right, Adam Idah, where's he going? Swansea City is where he could be going. Apparently, exit talks are at an advanced stage. Now, Swansea City boss has actually directly addressed the move. He says, he's a player I'm aware of, obviously, an Irish international, so I do know him. He's a good player, but I don't want to comment on anybody that's not our player. End of quote. Now, people are saying this, he's shut down the move, the move's not going to happen. I mean, all the guys literally said is, yeah, he's great, I know him, but I'm not going to talk to anybody that's not our player. Look at how every press conference pretty much goes with managers, man. They speak like this, they don't want to address it, because they don't like speaking about players that aren't actually currently contracted to the club that they are managing. That's just the way it goes. People need to accept that. But yeah, Adam Idah, how much are Swansea going to pay? I mean, the rumours are it's a decent fee. Now, what is a decent fee? If you spend £9.5 million on him, what's a decent fee to get back? He's only 24, right? What could Celtic be looking to get back from Adam Idah? 5 mil, 4.5, somewhere in that ballpark. I mean, I don't think they are nowhere near going to get anything like 9.5. Now, the only saving grace for them is it's the English Championship Swansea are in, and it's not like he's moving abroad where they just literally would simply refuse to pay that. Maybe here they might actually spend it. You never know. Either or. Quarabag just got pulled out the draw, and they got Copenhagen. Quarabag, Paphos, Karat Almaty, man. You would have a bloody field day if you drew against some of those teams. But let's move on to Hamza Igamani. He is on the verge of Rangers' exit. He's touched down in France. He's in Lille, and he's essentially a miracle away from completing a £10.4 million move. And I mean, to be honest, I've been on Twitter today. There is all sorts of rumours about Hamza Igamani. We're also seeing Oscar Cortez's name get fired about there. If you know, you know. I mean, it's simply just speculation, so I'm not going to go too much into it, but what a fucking mess it is if that all turns out to be true. And, yeah, 10.4 million. Considering Martin's comments, I think we've got to just take it and move on. The release clause kind of just appeared from thin air. Personally, I don't even think it existed. I think it's all made up bullshit, because I mean, how can you put 20 million on his head and then say there's a €12 million release clause? Ridiculous. But here, this could have went tits up really, really fast after Martin made those comments after the St Mirren game. Could have been looking at hee-haw here. Being brutally honest about it. So, because what could have happened is Lille pull out, Igamani's unhappy, and he's banished to the reserves for like the next 4 years or something. So 10.4 million, put it back into the squad, and thankfully it looks like Rangers are doing that, because Bojan Miovski is on the verge of completing a £2.6 million move to Rangers with add-ons that would go up to 4.2. And without, just repeating what I said in my video earlier, I mean, I think this is an absolute no-brainer, and I think it would be an absolutely great move. I would say it'll be signing of the season for Rangers. I do strongly believe that. Guy knows the league, some good numbers, great numbers for Aberdeen, going to a better club. My only fear is Russell Martin going to get the best tune out of him? No, I don't think so. But what I'm hoping for, guys, is that Russell Martin gets sacked soon, and all these players that were brought in, like Miovski and other guys like Mikey Moore, Ant-Man, Gazima, they'll be able to flourish under someone who, doesn't count their Cheerios. Or is a Fagan allowed to eat Cheerios? I don't know what Russell Martin eats for breakfast. But there's one thing he's serving us, and it's nothing but shite. And I'm sick of eating shite. So it's about time we actually got something different on the plate. Speaking of the plate, it is the Thursday night plate for everyone. But it could be for Hibs as well if they beat Legia Warsaw tonight. But a guy they could be adding to that front line, Lyndon Dykes, on loan, would be a very smart move. Put it this way. Lyndon Dykes still gets called up for Scotland. And when he was up here for Livy, he was a great player. Obviously in the Championship now, back in the Championship now with Birmingham City. No brainer for Hibs, man. If Hibs are going into games, with Kieran Boy and Martin Boyle and Lyndon Dykes up front, and players of that calibre, and that to me is like a massive step in the right direction for Hibs. Because I think for too long, teams like Hibs, Hearts, Aberdeen, they have like weak front lines, and just weak teams in general. But that front line that I've just described there for Hibs, with the likes of Martin Boyle, Lyndon Dykes, Kieran Boy, and Eliuan. I mean, I'm not exaggerating, man. I think that goes toe to toe with the front lines of Rangers and Celtic right now. I'm not, I went there, right? Aye, because, right, Kieran Boy, for me, starts up front for both teams. Lyndon Dykes probably starts up front for both teams right now, right? Then you look at Martin Boyle on the right-hand side, definitely starts for Celtic, because Yang's pish, and so is James Forrest. As for Rangers, Ant-Man had one good game, and he's been pish ever since. So yeah, he starts for Rangers, does Martin Boyle. So yeah, I went there. There you go. Is Lyndon Dykes going to sign for Hibs? We'll have to wait and see. Hibs obviously got a big game tonight, which we will be reviewing. Sadly though, it's not on telly. I think it might be on Bet365 though. If you have like 10p in your account, you're allowed to watch it. So that'd be interesting. And speaking of Birmingham City, guys, they've made an approach for Celtic winger Yang. Don't really know what the gimmick is with Birmingham City wanting all this league's sloppy seconds, but they could be about to get Yang. And then the final piece of business, Dundee have held talks with Scotland international Ryan Jack. So there you go, guys. Ryan Jack on his way to the Scottish Premiership. Football Insider is saying that dropping for the Champions League, the Europa League, has cost Celtic 11.5 million. 1 minute it's 40 million, 1 minute it's 30 million, 1 minute it's 20 million, 1 minute it's 11.5 million. Well, what is going on with this whole Champions League money? Mate, they need to make their mind up what the definitive answer is when it comes to how much you lose out in between the Champions League and the Europa League. But anyway, a lot of transfers, a lot of talk. Who's going to be going anywhere? We'll have to wait and see. Till next time, peace.